I know what you like, I got a shirt you can borrow. The same thing, repeating these patterns like I'm going insane, man. Get to the bag, money is ag, count them racks, yeah. Looking at last, look at my past, get to the bag, yeah. She got it bad and she wonders that if I'm gonna take it serious, it's like a heart attack. Keep running back, right back. If she got it bad, if she wonders that if I'm gonna take it serious, it's like a heart attack. I gotta go. Heart attack. I let her go. She keep running back, right back. If she want it back, ain't got no time for that. I got no strings attached, but I don't think that it's mutual.
You know I gotta fall back. You just wanna act so you can overact. Here you go, talking all your bullshit, acting bold, dumb, cold, being stupid. I ain't the niggas you out pursuing. I'm on my queen shit, young, being ruthless. Tryna get these hits on replay. Fucking up this club, hey Miss DJ. Bottle girl, pass whatever we say. Nine shit all day, yeah, me and Protege. Grab these bottles, we on tonight, tonight. Hey. Check my DM, she on tonight, tonight. Hey, acting all crazy while my record play. Yeah, this my shit, go DJ. Out these feelings, it's on tonight, tonight.
Nigga, all eyes on me. Yeah, your account ain't figures, so it's my body. I know you got a little breezy, but your girl ain't me. I bet she can't throw it back like a TBT. You know I like my niggas brown like that YAC. And I ain't with them kitty games, this ain't YMC. And yo, I'm trying to get to know you, spend some TLC. My favorite letters in the alphabet is you and me. But I've been peeping, you creeping on the weekend. Turning off your phone, steady claiming that you're sleeping. Not the type of bitch to wait around while you freaking. So hit me when you off that. If not, nigga, don't call back. I'm off that.
Grab these bottles, we on tonight, tonight. Hey, check my DM, she on tonight, tonight. Hey, acting all crazy while my record play. Yeah, this my shit, go DJ. Out these feelings, it's on tonight, tonight. I don't like the games you think you about to play. Oh no, no way. Cause I'm on some real shit. Playing on the gig, you get dismissed. Welcome to the night, we just like this.
Hey, yo, Lane, check dig, man. I was just sitting back reminiscing, man, you know what I'm saying, and vibing on how things used to be, you dig? Like when we was youngsters, you know what I'm saying, that OSDN used to rock. St. Anne's jump, you know?
When children used to see the dance every day. I used to go to Toledo. When kids really used to go outside and play. I used to go to Toledo. When females used to carry themselves as women. I used to go to Toledo. Where hustlers used to tour their town without snitching.
Listen, I remember back in the day when I was a child, doing bad, mama used to take us to eat at Hot and Now. Very convenient, the food was good and plus it was cheap. Creeping off the block to go swimming at Willie's every week. Dirt courts in just about every backyard, hooping on crates. Sneaking jars out the house, trying to catch lightning bugs and snakes. The good old days when penny candy really used to cost a penny. Ice cream truck had ice cream on it, you could buy for 10 pennies. Pimp scoping your bike out with chrome caps, reflectors, and mirrors. The hood used to be a village back when the neighbors cared. It was less snitching, more females carried themselves like women. I wish I could go back and visit, cause I miss the old Toledo.
When children used to see the test every day.
It ain't got that same vibe. It got no more.
Go outside and play.
Yeah, okay. I feel where you going, CJ. Okay, man. It's your boy Bobcat, man. Just reminiscing. Check this.
Where hustlers used to do their time without snitching.
I'm just reminiscing about the old days. And nah, I don't go far back as the OJs. I'm talking late 80s, early 90s. On Auburn up at Peach Rose is where you can find me.
Yes, welcome in to the all-new Rise and Grind Morning Show. We are the #1 voted podcast in Toledo. It is Leah, Renee, Shae, K, Clyde, Green, and Jay. And of course, it is Wednesday. And it's Clyde's birthday. Happy birthday, Clyde.
We about to all sing happy birthday. I want the kids to do it too. Okay.
The amazing kids in here today. We're gonna explain that in a minute. But you guys, we're all gonna sing happy birthday to Clyde. We got Dennis in here today. Ask a Lawyer, of course, because it's Wednesday.
Yes. So, and we're gonna do the fast version. Okay, y'all ready? On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Go.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Go, Clyde.
Happy birthday. Yes. So, welcome in.
Thank y'all.
As our viewers can see, our listeners who are listening can't see, but our viewers who are watching can see that it looks like a very different setup. And that's because it is a very different setup.
Yes,
Today, the Rise and Grind Morning Show meets aMAYSing Kids Broadcasting Camp.
Hey. Congratulations to you guys.
So we are recording live from the Mott Library
They deep off
with
of here,
the
too.
aMAYSing Kids Broadcasting Camp.
Camera.
Right, yeah, we should have had one facing them, yeah. So definitely make sure you guys stay locked in for this show because they are watching, and next week they're going to be taking over, Dennis. Wednesday, next Wednesday, Dennis.
So
you don't need no topics next week because they're going to be bringing the topics.
Yeah.
Travis, I think you should find a few little kitty topics.
Okay, go ahead, yeah.
Because you're going to be talking with him.
Okay, birthday boy, you the boss. It's his birthday, you the boss.
Yeah, you cut him off yesterday. He coming back for everything he on. It's his birthday today, as he should.
I'm just saying, Dennis going to be here on Wednesday, so they got to be like us, and he sits with us.
That's right.
So we need who going to be an inspiring lawyer out there. Who wants to be the inspiring lawyer?
They don't know yet. They weren't ready for that.
check. There we go.
Okay, there we go.
Guys, anyone out there want to be a lawyer by any chance? We got at least one.
Okay, she got the topics.
Great. So you're gonna fire the questions at me.
That's.
No, she said she want to be a chief justice judge.
Good for you. I hope that you do. That's awesome.
Okay, so we're gonna give you some homework today. Okay, you're gonna come in with the topics for next week. Okay, that's gonna be your homework.
You're gonna ask me anything you want.
Did you already have some topics?
Oh, she got the weather. She came ready.
She came ready with her weather and traffic. Speaking of weather and traffic.
She's coming for that weather.
Oh, period. But who's going to have the affirmations?
Look, it's all me. I'm going to teach somebody. Ain't nobody coming for my job. I'm going to train somebody, okay?
Well, speaking of weather, it is a beautiful day today. Currently, it's 68 degrees. We're going to get to a high of about 75. It's going to be beautiful and sunny, so you don't have to worry about any rain. Make sure you get out there and enjoy that beautiful weather. Take a walk in the park, have some fun, play some sports, do something. Tomorrow is going to be 79, and then we're going to have a beautiful weekend. It's going to be in the 80s for Friday and Saturday, and then on Sunday, it's going to be 90 degrees. Ooh. So it is going to be a beautiful weekend this weekend.
Yes, y'all better have fun before school start back.
And there's lots to do this weekend, right?
Yes, it is. Yes. My daughters, they dance for royalty. It is a parade going down at the Toledo Urban Credit Union. That's starting
they got the whole African-American festival going on this
on
weekend.
Saturday, and then the food truck is on Sunday.
Jay Rush and them having an after party after the festival.
Yeah, so it's a lot going on.
A lot going on this weekend. Yes. So to all of our listeners and viewers, make sure you guys are safe out there this weekend. Stay out of trouble, be safe, and have a lot of fun because there's a lot going on.
Trouble.
Yes.
Speaking
of trouble, was it any trouble getting here?
Oh, I didn't see any accidents on the road. But, like we always say, there's that construction going on all over the city. This is that time of the year. So be conscious of the construction workers. Be safe as you're going through those areas. When you see those orange cones, just slow down.
Yes.
Be safe.
Yep.
Yes.
Right. And around this time of year, we see a lot of different accidents. Sometimes they're really severe. So just definitely make sure that you are being very careful out there.
Yes. And, speaking of which, Dennis.
Yeah.
You said there's some stuff going on with the traffic. Like you had some, you were seeing some things with.
Yeah. So just the other night, actually, I don't know if you guys saw this on the news. A car was on a police chase through Toledo, and it ended in a really unfortunate result. Yeah.
Wow.
But a lot of people's cars were damaged in the result of this police chase, which causes this whole issue of who's responsible for it, what's going to happen. And
I always wondered that too. Like, who?
I would hope they would pay.
Right. The insurance would have to cover, right?
Yeah.
Well, presumably somebody running from the police doesn't have insurance.
Well, right. No, but I mean, like other person, like an innocent bystander whose card like gets swiped or whatever.
If I have insurance and somebody swiped my car in a police chase, shouldn't it be covered?
So this is actually what I used to. My dad's a lawyer. I used to do this with my dad all the time. I'd ask him like, what would happen if this happened or that happened? The answer is depends what your insurance is.
Wow.
If you only have property liability coverage,
right?
You don't have any property
you got full coverage.
If you have full coverage, you should be fine.
Right. Okay.
But I always say that with an asterisk because you know how these insurance companies are.
And that's crazy. That is crazy.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Well, shout out to our sponsors, Hotbox, Mud City ENT, Essential Vibes, Land Self, The People Salesman, J. Rush Jennings, Sasha Denise, Legendary Carpet Care.
Hey now.
I know it's your birthday. I know it's your birthday.
Still got to pay attention. Okay, give me my Sasha.
Sasha.
Greater New Psalmist Church.
Amen.
Witness Riches.
Yep.
Did I say Legendary Carpet Care?
Say it again.
The Social Butterfly.
Hey, Miss Carter.
And if you, Kendall Harvey.
Yes.
If you would like to become a sponsor of the #1 voted podcast, make sure you send your info to Rise and Grind at the419grind.com, and you can become a sponsor of our show.
Hey.
Before we move on, but then, is that why some police jurisdictions aren't allowed to pursue create high-speed chases because of insurance reasons?
That's one, right? That's one reason. Because I mean, in those situations, like I actually literally just dealt with a call like this. They say, well, maybe the police shouldn't have brought them in my neighborhood or something.
Right.
But generally speaking, police are going to be mostly immune from that type of thing. But
I know in Chicago it's illegal for the police to create a high-speed chase.
Yeah.
So they supposed to just let them go?
Well, I mean, in some situations, like you cause more damage by creating the chase than you would just.
They should probably just get the license plate number and catch them later.
I ain't never seen that happen, though. It seemed like they always be on high speed.
I learned when I was working in Chicago. I learned when I worked in Chicago because the taxi driver was picking me up from the bus station downtown, and the police pulled somebody over. And as soon as the cop got out, walked to the car, dude hit a U-turn and dipped. Hit a cut, got espresso, was gone. Like,
and the police officer said, forget it?
He couldn't, he wasn't about to catch him no way. It wasn't even about to happen, but for real,
He must have been with the sheriff. He must have been there for about 40 years. He like, you know what, it's cool. Somebody else will get him.
Their shirt, their shirt a little big.
Yeah, they've been there for a minute. He wasn't even about to try.
Yeah. So usually we do trending legal topics at this point, but I think that we got to switch it up a little bit because we're sitting here in this room of people who hope to be broadcasters in the future. Even next week, they're going to do it. So I think what's important is that we start talking about your guys' experience, because if you guys don't know this, we're sitting here with the #1 rated podcast in Toledo right now. They've only been here for 1 year, and so to get from the point when they started to get to this point, there's a lot that goes behind the scenes that I think would be really helpful for you guys to hear. So
a lot.
Let's talk about it, guys. I don't know a whole lot of your guys' background to have gotten to this point.
Yeah.
So I guess let's start with the birthday boy.
I'm just a regular Homer Simpson. You know what I get up, go to work, come home.
But you got
donuts.
But when like this whole thing, when who? I assume Jesse, you were sort of the catalyst.
Oh no.
Who is the catalyst?
I am not the catalyst.
Don't do that.
I am. Actually, it started in my den. I was doing a podcast in my den, and I had the idea to do a morning show.
Yeah.
Because I've done radio before in high school, and then I did it for 89.3 SFM. So I decided, since I can't work for a radio station, I'll just create my own. So I talked to Leah about doing a podcast. I was doing her podcast for her, like filming it and recording the audio. So we said, okay, I got this idea for a morning show. Let's do a morning show. So August 23rd of last year, we said, you want to do a show? Let's do a show. So we just did it. So ever since then, we've been adding people to the show, and it's been growing. So that's how it all started.
So guys, the lesson to take away from that is you could do this in your den. It doesn't take much. And the crazy thing is they usually do this in a full studio. They have their own place, but they were able to bring that all here this morning and get this all set up in 30 minutes. And here we are broadcasting, to the world in 30 minutes.
Right. And if your parents don't want you to use the den, you can always use your room.
Right.
That's right.
Use your closet.
Clyde said it.
Go in your closet, for real.
My mom was saying, not in my den. Take us over to the basement. Well, I want to hear that.
Yeah. Like Shae K said, if you have room in your closet, you can take that and use that as your own booth. You can decorate it, put up lights, LED lights, and just make it your own personal
Put a little
space.
palette in there.
It'll be real up close and personal, but
we live in a really interesting time, guys, because you all have a video production studio in your pocket. Like she's sitting here doing it right now.
Yeah.
You know.
Shout out to Alyssa.
Hey, Lissy.
Hey, Lissy girl.
You the camera girl.
She's like,
Come on over here, Lissy. Come over here by me.
She recording.
There we go.
I know, but I want her to talk because she's a good talker on the mic.
Oh, all right. Watch out for the cables here.
Come here.
She said,
Sit on down next to me.
Hey,
tell the
girl.
listeners and the viewers, you're going to look into that camera and tell the listeners and viewers who you are.
Hello. I am Alyssa.
Alyssa
Ragland.
Okay.
What's up,
and why did you come to the broadcasting camp?
Because it's fun and I can learn new things and stuff.
What are some of the things you've learned so far?
I learned. I don't really know.
You learned about podcasting, right?
Yeah, that.
DJing. You went into the TV room. So which one of those booths was your favorite?
The DJ.
The DJ booth?
Yeah.
DJ, listen.
You're gonna be on the ones and twos.
Put you on the ones and twos. Okay. Well, thank you for coming up and talking. We appreciate you. And you're thinking about being maybe one of the hosts next week?
Yes.
So you're gonna get your topics together?
Who you gonna be? You gonna be Leah, Renee, or Shae K? Who you gonna be?
She's gonna be Alyssa.
She gonna be Alyssa.
What topics are you?
You better say that, girl.
What topics are you gonna do?
The
Are you gonna do the
Olympics?
What is it?
Olympics?
No.
Weather and traffic?
No, she's doing weather and traffic, I think.
Oh, what you talking
I'm
about?
doing the celebrity one.
You're gonna do the pop culture, right?
Pop culture.
Trending topics?
Yeah.
All right. So you're gonna get your content together? All right. Okay, well, we'll see you next week.
Okay.
All right.
Bye, people.
All right.
She's ready to talk.
Yeah, she was ready. Yeah, so definitely we're excited to be here with the aMAYSing Kids Broadcasting Camp. Like we said, we're gonna do an aMAYSing Kids takeover next Wednesday. So the kids have been challenged to bring their best content forward. And then from that, we're gonna choose 3 of them to take over as the hosts. And they're gonna sit with Dennis, and they're gonna run their Ask a Lawyer Wednesday with Dennis.
So I got a question for Dennis.
Yeah.
So Dennis, what advice would you give the kids when they're looking up these trending legal topics?
So it's always tough to come up with something that's entertaining when it deals with the law in particular. It's like a tricky thing, right? So you want to try to find something that's fresh. So you want to make sure that it's something that maybe a lot of people haven't yet heard about, or it's buzzing right now. And you also want to find something that has maybe different ways that you could express it. So like you might be able to take your own take on that story. So it's not the same as what everything else out there is doing.
Right.
But it's homework, guys. There's no 2 ways about it. You gotta work for it a little bit, but I'm sure you guys can do it.
This isn't easy. We don't just come and jump on a mic every morning. We have to do research on topics that we want to talk about. We have to set up well, not set up like this every day, but we have to make sure everything is working every day.
Yeah.
The internet is working. Our signal is going out to to Facebook, YouTube, and wherever else you can listen to our show.
Yep.
So I got a question.
We have to get up in the morning and come.
Yeah.
On time.
Right. Yeah. So Leah, speaking of on time, Leah.
Yes, Jesse.
Being that you are a mother, well, both of you are mothers, and you have kids that you have to get up in the morning. What do you do to prep yourself for the show every morning? Don't look at me like
Don't just smile. You get them smiling.
No, seriously. Well, yes, you're right. I do have kids. So, in order to be at the studio by 8:30, I have to make sure I get up by like 6:30 because I have to get up that young man right there. I have to make sure he gets up and brushes his teeth. And I have to make sure he combs his hair. And then I have to comb my hair. And then it's just a whole thing. So, to prepare for the show, we have to go and do our research. We have to look online. We have to see what's trending as far as trending topics. We have to check the weather and see what the weather is looking like. We have to check the traffic app. I use the OGO traffic app. And then also we use our ride into work to see if we have came across any accidents or incidents on the road. If there are any big sports stories, we definitely make sure to catch the sports stories as well because lots of people watch us and they're interested in sports. So it's all about doing your research and making sure you produce content And
we also have to research our guests, and if
that's right. Yep.
Sometimes they may be an author. We might have to read some of their book.
Yep.
You know
Or
put a little
skim
overtime
through the book.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true. If it's an artist, if it's a recording artist, Jesse usually downloads their music and we take a listen to their music and make sure that it's radio edited and not too much cussing and not too much negativity or vulgar stuff. So yes, it's a lot of work. It's definitely a lot of work. It's fun. We love what we do. That's why we show up every morning. But it's not all fun.
We got to make sure we keep the people's attention.
Yeah, that's the other side of it is that even more important than the preparation sometimes is just the way that everyone interacts with each other and their personalities. I've been on a lot of different morning shows and you don't always get the right dynamic, but this group of people is definitely, they have a great dynamic and they probably could just hold air even if they didn't prepare, I'm sure.
Right.
So that's a unique skill.
And I was going to also add, outside of doing the preparation and the writing work, you also got to have your mind right.
Yeah.
You know how many days you guys get up for school every single day and sometimes you be like, I do not want to do this. Yeah. So I wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, actually, because I have 3 kids too. I need to get some meditation in. Y'all know, sometimes I be at the studio listening to something positive, because sometimes you be like, I do not want to do this today. But it's a greater purpose. So when you have a better attitude, you got to remember who's watching you, and people need inspiration and motivation.
That's right.
So you got to bring your emotions into the studio.
Yes, and you definitely have to try and keep a positive mindset. So get into the routine of trying to do something that'll make you guys feel good in the morning. Yep. You got to play some music to get you guys in the energy, because you got to have good energy for this type of stuff and have a real good personality. So that's also with the preparation is a mindset thing too.
That's very important.
For sure. That positivity is infectious for sure, guys.
Yes.
You start you one foot at a time, right? So starting that way.
I'm impressed with the little cameraman. Just keep moving.
I know.
Yeah, lights, camera.
I love it.
Getting our angles, okay? Make sure y'all get my baby hairs, because they try. Okay?
So, Clyde, that you worked third shift.
Yeah, true.
You go in at 11 and you get off at what time?
6:45.
And you have
10:45 to 6:45.
So do you go to sleep between getting off work and coming in here?
This morning I did, because I had a little leeway, but usually no.
Oh, you did get a little bit of sleep this morning?
Until Jesse came.
Oh, okay. And I had to tell him,
So I think we need to call him.
I was asleep on the phone.
Because you usually used to just coming straight to the studio, and if you got to take a little cat nap in the car, sometimes you got to grind.
That's what you had hours, so you had to.
I felt spoiled today.
Yeah.
Right on your birthday.
Yes. Happy birthday.
That was a good birthday gift.
And make sure y'all hit my brother's Cash App.
Yes, get him together.
$ Juice Man.
I sent 50 cents.
Just like today.
I sent 50 cents. So if everybody sent 50 cents.
I can't receive change. You got to be $1.
Don't cash out until you get $4. It's got to add up.
No, but you can't just send 50 cents. You got to send $1.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe mine didn't go through.
My Cash App don't accept change. You can't change it.
It did not go through.
I'm going to have to check later.
They're going to send back to you and say, a little bit more.
Oh, okay. A little bit more.
So, Dennis, do we have anything that we can talk about as far as legal? I know we had some.
Is it any entertainer or anything in trouble? Like, we could kind of talk about legal battles.
Is it any, like, Chris Brown got any new?
Did he slap somebody?
Right.
So I mean, we got Damian Dash. I think we can talk about this one.
Yeah.
So Damian Dash, he's the CEO of Rockefeller Records. He recently tried to shop a story around for a book by an author named Mafietta is the name of the book. It was a crime book. He was trying to sell it to people, and apparently the author didn't allow him to do this at all. So the author sued him in court, won a $300,000 copyright infringement judgment. They appealed it. Ultimately, another judge, and actually 4 total federal judges, have all said he actually owes this money, even though he disputes that he does. And so finally, I think he's going to have to pay it, though he says through his lawyers.
Why do you feel like he doesn't have to pay the money? Was he trying to sell it under the Rockefeller name as well?
So I think he thought that for whatever particular reason he owned this book or these rights, or even that he was selling something that was only loosely related to this book. But the author obviously disagreed, so did the federal judges. But one thing that he did say that I think is interesting, and probably also a bad idea for anyone being sued, is he decided to go and attack the attorney that was suing him personally by commenting negatively on his suit, like his suit. And he said every time that lawyer files a lawsuit, his suit gets worse. If you're gonna try to rob me, just do it, Fly.
Oh, he was mad.
He was mad. He said, I'm so uninspired by this lawyer's energy and his outfits, the lack of taste to be in court and something that minor and then look like that type of person is disgusting to me.
That's a personal attack.
It's a personal attack, and it's not going to make you any friends. That's for sure.
You're supposed to wait till afterwards. So after you win and then rip him.
I mean, that's an opinion.
It's petty, huh?
He's entitled to his opinion.
He's
But
talking about his outfit, so it wouldn't be a character.
But I think it's important to understand that, like, judges, just like everybody else, they see the news, they see what people are saying on Twitter, on
Absolutely.
Facebook, whatever, and that's going to impact the judge for sure, and that's going to have an impact.
And it's a different kind of feel being a lawyer in New York because they got court all day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I think
Yeah,
all
they do. They
lawyers
got
do,
night.
though.
Huh?
Yeah.
Don't all lawyers have court all day?
No, we don't have night court here.
They have night court in
Yeah,
New
they
York?
got night court.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Do they have- I don't think they have night court here.
Not
here.
But
Not
a lot of
here.
people have to work and
Yeah,
stuff, you
wow.
know. So
So
like,
you can go to court at 9 p.m.
Yeah,
In
yeah.
New York, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Why
That's
me
interesting.
either? Right, that is crazy.
Because they got so
You
many
learn something
cases,
new
so
every
many
day.
people.
yeah.
You learn something new every day.
But
That makes sense.
You know, another thing involving Damian Dash is we talked about NFTs a couple
Yeah.
weeks ago, which are like these digital things that you can purchase online, and it's supposed to give you the digital rights to something, right?
Yeah.
Well, Damian Dash tried to sell his rights to the Reasonable Doubt album by Jay-Z, and the company that was selling it said that you gain all ownership of the copyright to Jay-Z's first album that Damian Dash owns. This marks a new milestone in the history of NFTs, entitling the new owner to all future revenue generated from this unique asset. And Damian Dash said, I wasn't actually trying to sell my rights at all. So there's a dispute as to what Damian was really trying to sell, but Jay-Z's record label, Rockefeller, went to court. They won an injunction stopping that sale from going forward. And
Because he could just sell it to Jay.
So what was he selling if he wasn't selling the rights to it?
that's a good question. He says that he didn't intend at all to sell any copyrights at all, and that he was not trying to sell any virtual ownership.
So he owns what, a third of Rockefeller?
That's a good question. Actually, it's unclear what
I think that's what it is.
he has even. That was another part of the lawsuit. It's unclear if he even owns any specific intellectual property rights in that album anymore at all. Because a lot of times with these albums, while somebody might own it originally, it gets sold and broken down so many different times in the music business that by the time it ends up in this state, like what Reasonable Doubt was in like 99 or something, by this time, 22 years later, it's hard to say exactly who owns it.
Right.
So that was another point that was a little bit confusing. And that's why I think the judge ultimately said
Reasonable
early in
Doubt
that
was
lawsuit,
97.
yeah, let's 97, yeah.
A little earlier than that.
Yeah. So, you know.
But I mean, you know, Jay been trying to get them rights or whatever, and you know he got the money to get it.
Right.
He know his wife got it.
Right.
So
Yeah, they got it.
They got
But
it.
it's up to Dame to sell.
So he just don't want
To
Jay
sell.
to have his stuff.
Yeah,
No,
he
he
just
doesn't.
don't.
It's like
He's making
Yeah,
money off of it.
that's
Yeah.
He's making money. So
It's kind of a
probably
weird
his-
story because it's like, what was he really trying to sell? What did he
Right.
own? It's just a strange story. But a judge said basically, hey, let's put a stop to this entirely until we figure out what we're supposed to do with this. So we'll see how that goes.
Birthday boy. You know that. Do not disturb.
I thought it was on side though. They were coker. I don't know what that is.
Let's talk about a real estate issue in Ohio that has some sort of dark past, but hopefully a much brighter future. So in Ohio, for a very long time, in America in general, actually, people were allowed to put overtly racist things in deeds that would stop people from buying things, right? So like a deed might say that no property can be sold to African-American person, for example. And that was in deeds for a very long time until 1968 when the law eventually caught up and said, even if these restrictions are in deeds, they don't apply, which is great. And we're incredibly happy to have seen that happen. But the problem was that those still stayed in real estate transactions. So like as a house would transfer from one person to the next, you have to always put the legal description the same in every deed to make sure that you actually are transferring the property. So what would happen is lawyers like me, even though those deed restrictions were not applicable, would have a really hard decision to make. Am I gonna keep this language in there that I don't agree with and I know is illegal and have no effect, but I might risk that I didn't actually transfer that property the right way? Or am I going to remove it and then risk that I did something wrong and my client didn't actually get the property they want?
Right.
So luckily, in the budget for Ohio this year, which is crazy, it took all the way to 2021 for this to happen when the the Fair Housing Act was passed in 68. Finally, now they are saying that those type of discriminatory language and deeds do not need to carry over to the next deed. So it's progress. It's slow as progress tends to be, but it's good to it's welcome.
So
And
could
we're
it be a
happy.
deed like say maybe in 59 a white person had a house and said never sell this to a black person. That could keep going on the deed.
Well, that's what was happening
until
It's
this
been
year.
doing that.
But he's saying now they're saying it doesn't have to.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
And the thing is, like,
now it don't
you would
to
have
do
to
that.
include it in the deed, even
Right.
though in 1968 there was a law that was passed that says that those discriminatory statements aren't really don't apply anymore, and they have no legal effect. Lawyers would still have to bring it along because they
That's
might
crazy.
risk not getting the deed done the right way, and then the
Right.
property doesn't actually transfer to you.
That's crazy.
So. Happy to see this happen.
Still fighting.
Yeah,
that's right.
It's gonna be fighting forever.
Man, that's crazy.
It's a constant thing. But
Want you beef with me? Forever.
Oh, okay.
I was like, where we going with this? Because I was in there.
So that's a welcome change, and like I said, progress is slow, but it moves in one direction, right?
Right.
So that's good. What else we got? Again, I'm reaching here because maybe the topics aren't exactly right. But one thing that I think is important, especially for anyone who's got children, is we've talked before about uninsured, underinsured coverage and how that can protect you if an uninsured driver hits you. Mm-hmm. But one of the other things that you always want to look at is what is included in your policy, not necessarily what you need to go get, but what is included that maybe you don't know or you don't want there. So insurance companies for the longest time were arguing that family members would get into situations in which they would fake accidents so that they could get insurance money. And they were saying that as a result of that, and it's probably true in some circumstances.
Yeah, people do that.
She's like, I know a couple people.
People really risk their life to do that. I want you to just ram into me, cause
No, we know a few.
So like here's the deal, right? So Clyde and I are driving in the car, right? I'm taking him to a dinner for his birthday, right? And we get into we get into an accident, and he doesn't live with me. He's not related to me.
My neck.
As far as I know, he's not related to me, though. I can't be sure, but I don't think he's related to me, right? So if we get into a car accident, I cause it. I'm the driver, right? And I'm looking at my phone, which I don't do and nobody should do. But let's say I'm looking at my phone and I crash. Clyde can sue my insurance company or me, and then my insurance company has to pay for anything I do to him. As it should be, because if I was the one responsible, he was just a passenger in the car. He didn't do anything wrong, right?
It's nothing personal. It's strictly business.
That's right. And we've been in those situations where we need to explain to people like, yeah, we know you're friends, but it's just business. It's just insurance companies. Don't worry about it, right? Okay. Now, if Clyde and I find out that we are related to each other, distant relative, whatever it might be, then same accident occurs. Most insurance policies will say that he can't sue me because he's either related to me by blood or he resides with me.
But how would they know?
Well, trust me, they'll know.
They got private.
If you're my 15th cousin, how would they know?
In 1998, November 8th, 1998, we were coming back from my two brothers, and my cousin Jamar,
and my brother,
and his brother Tank. We're coming back from visiting him in Columbus.
Really?
We got into an accident.
Horrible accident.
Tank was driving, fell asleep, and flipped the van.
Oh,
so we went to the hospital. We got checked out. We were okay. We got did some therapy or whatever.
Thank God.
We sued his brother's insurance company and got paid.
Everyone did.
Everyone got paid.
But y'all technically not blood related though, right?
No, that's the thing though. There was some investigation though because that's his brother, and we were riding with him. It's like we planned the thing to happen.
So did they make y'all come in for like a mouth swab or something? Like how do they make the connection though?
Okay, so like the way the language usually writes is that any family member or person related to the insured by blood, marriage, or adoption, or who resides in the same household is usually the way it reads. It's not in every policy, and that's the thing is the interfamily exclusion is one of the probably worst things that you could have in a policy, and it's not in every policy. So if you just ask your agent if it's there, they've got to tell you.
So the exclusion is if you get in an accident and you're related to the person, you're not covered?
You can't sue your brother.
That's so funny too, because if you notice, anytime you call for a new insurance policy, they specifically ask
who's
you
in the household?
Who else is in the household.
That's why.
And I don't ever tell them. They
don't
They ain't driving my car. Don't worry about it.
Now one of us or who have children, say my children ride with me and they got hurt. Them getting paid for my insurance is like
I have literally been in rooms with insurance companies where a child got really hurt by their dad, like in snowy conditions, for example. And the insurance company will say to me, as tragic as this is, and as sad as this is, we're not covering it.
They won't cover it?
No.
Wow.
I've been in some cold rooms.
They won't cover your child as a passenger.
Oh my God.
I've been there, guys.
They don't cover the kids?
Man, insurance is the biggest.
Crazy.
I thought the kids get a check and we just hold it off for today.
I mean, again,
your kids can't get no check. They got to eat off you.
But you know what?
No, but I thought they really do.
Because I was going to say, like, my mom and my son just got into an accident last last year. They were hit by a drunk driver. But see, like, so if it would have been her fault, her insurance wouldn't have covered him.
So it's the difference between like
it was his fault. His insurance.
Okay,
would
I
cover.
get that. Okay.
So for example, I
so
was
they give a check and his
so
name
his
separate?
insurance. Yeah, they sent the check for him because the other guy was at fault.
Brandon,
So
when you
his
taking me out to
insurance
eat? TT Shae, we hungry.
His insurance company.
So the
cashed
other
out.
couple weekends back, I was traveling with a married couple, and they were both driving because there was enough people that we needed 2 cars. So if they had hit one another, nothing that they can do.
Wow.
They live together. They're
total
married.
loss on both ends.
Assuming that they've
Wow,
got that
that's
exclusion
crazy.
in there, and so that's the thing is people just need to
So
understand
that would be no fault insurance right there. Pretty much.
no insurance at all.
Yeah, I was
Not
gonna
no
say it
fault,
wouldn't even
just
matter. No insurance at all.
So
Dang.
that type of thing can be really cold, and it can have really, really negative effects.
Insurance is cold.
Yeah.
Cold world.
So it's just important that you look into that. Make sure you know what you're getting into before that type of thing happens, because your family is really the main thing you're trying to protect with insurance.
Right.
I'm gonna just start telling my kids they can't go nowhere with me. Then
They got to drive in the other
they
car.
ain't getting paid. Stay home. Call me after I bring it home.
No, they can go, but you can't be driving crazy.
Oh yeah,
It's your fault.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes they acting the fool and I can't concentrate. You just doing too much. Get out.
Right.
So I wonder, like, okay, is it the same if, like, say you get hit by someone and it's not your fault, but they don't have insurance?
That's a good question. So
yeah.
this gets into like the uninsured, underinsured stuff. So if you have purchased uninsured, underinsured coverage, then you would protect yourself, but because and you would get your
But
money.
the
But it's
kid wouldn't get
unclear whether or not you would be able to get it for your child. It really depends on how that policy is written.
Yeah,
but
because
there's at
sometimes
least
they do specifically ask, like, or they'll tell you, like, you get this certain amount for yourself and this certain amount for any passengers or whatever.
So I would say it is possible that in that circumstance you would not be able to get anything for your passenger child.
And there's nothing you can do about it. Like, you can't go before a judge with that, like, or nothing.
It depends. So in that situation where you're going against your own insurance company, they've got to play fair with you. It's called good faith. They don't always do this, and when they don't do this, then you can sue the insurance company for bad faith, which is actually a claim completely different than the contract.
Yeah.
And it means basically if you're not playing fair and you're doing something underhanded or shady, then you have a separate claim. And sometimes we've talked about this before. Those bad faith claims can be millions of dollars,
right?
Even if the underlying claim is just a little bit of money. I think we talked about it with a guy who got his car fixed. And remember, they didn't want to total the car out, but they fixed it for like $8,000 or something. And then they ended up with like $1 million judgment against the insurance company because they weren't playing fair.
Right.
So yeah, it depends. It's really fact specific.
It's crazy how tricky this stuff is.
Yeah.
It's nothing black
chess.
and white. It's crazy.
It's chess. There's no two ways
Crazy.
about it. You know, you got to know the rules of the game. That's for sure.
Insurance is the most.
Yeah, they most paid and shiestiest ever.
Yeah.
Necessary evil, guys.
Kingpins.
They're my favorite and my least favorite companies
about
in the entire
right.
world.
Right. That is crazy.
It's just
You
depends.
gotta have it.
Yeah. But anyways.
You got any more? If not, if you don't have anything else, what we can do is, I know a couple of kids said they want to be lawyers.
Okay.
So if they have any questions for Dennis.
Yeah, you guys got any questions about being a lawyer, the process of getting to that point, what it takes, all that, what it's like? Hey, she's got one.
Come on up and ask.
So yeah, she
come
can
on,
come and talk to
Gotta get on the
on
mic, though.
Clyde's mic and ask
Come on
questions.
up.
Come on, girl. You get to speak in the mic.
What is it like? Do you
Gotta
have any
get close to the
pressure
mic.
Or anything?
Do I have pressure?
Yeah.
Every day of my life, I have pressure. It is a high stress job, but you can really help people. So I think helping people, like genuinely helping them, makes that pressure a little bit easier to handle. I always liken it to like when somebody hires me for like a personal injury or car accident, it's like putting their weight on my back. And so we carry a lot of weight, no two ways about it. But when you help somebody truly, there's just no better feeling in the world.
Make you feel like a superhero.
Sometimes.
What's your name, pretty girl?
Ariel.
What grade are you in? Going to?
I'm 6.
What school?
Old Weston.
Oh yeah, you already getting prepared
She's about
already.
to, she's the next Supreme Court
What
justice.
made you want to
Well,
come
I'm
to the
bummed.
broadcasting camp?
It sounded fun, and I could learn new things. I don't know.
What's your favorite part so far?
DJ.
Okay.
Yeah.
We got some DJs up in here. Okay.
Well, thank you for coming up and asking a
Awesome.
question.
Yes, we can't wait
Thanks
to have
so
you on the
much.
panel next week.
What do we got? What's your name?
What's your name, pretty girl?
My name is Aaliyah.
What's up, Leah?
Okay, Leah.
What you got for me?
I was wondering how long y'all gonna keep this session open, because I would love to keep going here.
Oh, that's a nice question. For a little while longer, at least 15, 20 minutes. You got a question about what lawyers do, what the practice is like? What do you got?
So, wait.
It's all right.
I don't even know what to say right now.
You gotta think about it some more. That's DJ Breezy's daughter.
Yeah.
The lawyers have to go to college?
They do have to go to college, and then they have to go to 3 years of law school.
But how long?
4 years of college, 3 years of law school, 7 years. It's definitely very expensive, but it's just you got to do what you got to do. And then after that, you got to take the bar exam, which takes another 6 months probably. And then you have to keep your license up every year. So you got to. I'm never done with school. Actually, I'm in school for the rest of my life.
Keep going. If you want to do it, it's possible. Make sure
it's not as bad as it sounds, though. You know, you get through it.
Thank you.
Ask her. What's your favorite part of the camp?
Oh yeah.
The DJ section, because I'm a big fan of DJing, because I want to become a professional DJ like my mom.
Who's your mom?
Oh.
My mom?
Yeah, who's your mom?
Shout her out.
She is DJ Breezy.
Yeah, DJ Breezy. Essential vibes. All right.
What's up, man? What's your name?
My name's Brandon.
What's up, Brandon?
Hi. So I wanted to ask you, who inspired you to do this job?
Oh, who inspired me? You know, my dad is a lawyer, and he was a public defender for a lot of years. So he was just out there defending everybody, really. And I think that mostly my dad had a huge impact on me for sure. I don't know if I would have gone this route if I hadn't seen that, like what he did. And it wasn't like he was sort of just a guy in a suit making a bunch of money. He was in the trenches, like defending the public, and I just thought that was always a really big thing to do, honorable thing to do, and he had a huge impact on me for that. What's your favorite part of the camp?
DJing.
Yeah.
What? Everybody on DJ.
And who inspires you?
My mom.
Who's your mother?
Oh, Leah be on the ones and twos.
Inspirations are super important, guys, and you really have to, at the end of the day, believe that you can do anything.
Brandon.
Yeah, thanks, Brandon. Believe that you can do anything, and the truth is you can do whatever you want. If you want to be a lawyer, you can do it. If you want to be a judge, you can do it. You want to be a doctor, you can do it.
You can do whatever you want to do. Put your mind to it.
What's the best kind of lawyer? I mean,
The best kind of lawyer. Anyone that doesn't represent insurance companies.
What's your name?
Lena.
How old are you?
I'm 11.
What school are you going to?
LPH.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of different types of lawyers. Like every lawyer does something different, really. So there's criminal defense lawyers who represent people who are charged with crimes. The funnest.
It seems like the crime one.
So like that is criminal law is very interesting, and the stakes are really high because people go to jail for a very long time, and so because the talk about pressure, criminal defense has a lot of pressure because you've got someone else's freedom on the line. So I don't know if I would say that's the funnest, but it's definitely it's challenging for sure.
You gotta believe your client as well.
Yeah, and you have to believe in the system, the process, right? But for me personally, what I find the most enjoyment out of is when people get injured by somebody that they didn't deserve to be injured by, making sure that we can make that right. So that's what I think is, I don't know if I'd say fun exactly, but rewarding for sure. So.
And what's your favorite part of the camp?
The DJ section.
What? Everybody's gonna be a DJ.
Yeah, 25 DJs.
You know, that DJ booth was really fun. I actually went in there and played around a little bit myself, and it was really fun.
That's her
so.
Here, come on up.
Tell her to come up to the mic.
Come up to the mic.
Criminal Minds and Law and Order, something like being a lawyer.
So those shows are often pretty accurate, yeah. They're not always. I mean, they're always a little bit. You know, they're entertainment, right? So they're trying to be a little bit more entertaining than like the real life is like. But yeah, it's based on a true story, yeah, for sure. Most people recognize lawyers like the criminal defense version of them, and that's one version, but that's only one really small set of lawyers. You know, lawyers do a whole lot of stuff. Real estate transactions, civil law,
entertainment law.
Entertainment. Yeah. For all you guys, for sure. Lawyers that can get your contracts in place for your music. If you're going to be DJs, make sure that your contracts are in place so that people actually pay you. And if they don't pay you, you can do something about it.
ASCAP licenses.
ASCAP licenses. You know, there's a lot of that type of stuff that goes into this.
Yeah, you definitely have to know the business side of it.
For
know
sure.
the law.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
A lot of reading.
A lot of reading. That's true. A lot of writing, a lot of reading.
You got this, girl.
That's why it's important for you kids to know how to read, because You have to know how to read in every aspect of life, even if
And
you're
comprehend.
Yep.
Yeah.
Even if you're a gamer and all you like to do is play games and you want to be a gamer, that's a profession and you can make money off of that, but you still have to read because you're going to still have to do your research in that field. You have to do your research, you have to know your stuff, and you have to, make sure you know all the knowledge so that you don't get played.
Understand what you're reading.
And that's another thing about the law is it really touches pretty much everything you guys do. Like no matter what you do, it will have some impact. The law will have some impact.
Absolutely.
Come on up.
Come on up to the mic.
This is much better than what I had.
But what if you hate reading?
What?
What if you hate reading?
There's audiobooks.
It's always stuff that you
Yeah,
hate,
I
but
mean,
you're going to have to do to get it to where you need to go.
Well, here's what I'll say to you.
That's
Is that
life.
even if you hate it, you got to have your house built on a strong foundation, right? And reading and those basic skills are what is that strong foundation that'll open up doors, even if you hate it. Trust me, I don't love it all the time.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
We
But
definitely don't enjoy reading and doing research, but anything worth having in life, you're going to have to work for. There's no cutting corners.
it gets easier. It gets easier.
You're gonna
Yeah, it
have
definitely
to.
get easier. You'll be able to
Because
navigate.
if you want to be successful, you have to work hard, and you're going to have to know how to read.
She look like we give her a book assignment now. She like, it's okay, baby girl, we got you. POP, we gonna hold it down for you. She looking like,
So Dennis, I had a quick question too about a lawyer. Can I just jump in and say, hey, I want to take the bar? You gonna take the bar?
In some states, California, you don't have to go to law school to take the bar.
Shut up.
Yeah, that's actually how Kim Kardashian.
But
took-
she failed twice.
She did fail twice. But
Did she pass?
No, she
hasn't passed yet?
She hasn't tried it again.
no, but the California bar is one of those that's like one of the hardest ones, I think.
Especially if you ain't going to school.
Well, that's the thing. Is
Yeah.
Because they feel like if you can pass that without going to
Right.
school.
Yeah.
And shout out to University of Toledo for me because it taught me everything I needed to know to pass two
Rockets.
bars. I was able to pass Ohio and Florida
You
off
better
that.
talk that stuff.
Hey,
So,
talk your
I
issue.
give them some credit for that. I'm still paying the bill.
Practice
but-
law
Right.
in Florida and Ohio.
Yeah, Florida and Ohio.
So remember
Yeah,
the
that
case?
UC
I think it was a
bill is
couple of weeks ago when the guy represented himself. He murdered his
Wife and tried to kill his son.
Tried to kill his son. He represented himself. I don't
Pro se.
know. Was that in New Jersey or somewhere like that?
Yeah, I think
That's
so.
what
Yeah.
it's called. When you represent
What is it
So
called?
how
Pro se.
How was he able to represent himself without going to?
So in almost every case but murder cases, you're almost always allowed to represent yourself if you want. It's a terrible idea, and the old saying
Right, yeah.
is that if
But
you
he
represent
did
yourself,
murder.
you have a fool for a client. So the reality is that I can say something about myself, but if she says it or he says it about me, it's always more powerful that way. So having representation is just like somebody else adopting what you believe,
Right.
and it comes off a lot better. Plus, I mean, you're in an
The judge
emotional
don't
So you
respect
said all cases
The judge-
except murder?
pretty much.
But
yeah.
he did murder her.
Well, so even in those cases, if you are adamant that you want to represent yourself, the judge will tell you this is a bad idea. I don't want you to do it. But ultimately, after going through this long process, then that he or she is going to let you do that eventually.
I told me that when I was fighting for my children one time. The lady told me, wow, I wish you would get a lawyer. I felt I didn't need one because the custody order was broken. Like, this should be a...
Open and shut thing.
So what happened?
Most judges don't
happened?
respect civilians.
Yeah, what did happen?
It's just, they don't respect people who are not officers of the court.
Well, what
So what
happened with that case?
I lost the case.
Oh well.
So you wish you would have had an attorney?
Yeah.
Is that-
I didn't feel I needed an attorney, but I think
looking
if I had an
back now-
attorney, I would have won.
Yeah.
It's not funny, but the way he said
I know.
it, like I lost. I thought you were
saying
gonna say
that.
you won.
I thought that I ain't got my kids. We just talked about this last week,
you
what I'm
had
going
them.
through.
Oh, and yeah, and also if
Legally,
Still
no.
getting charged child support.
if a business gets sued, so like an LLC or something, then you can't represent your business because that would
Can't?
because that would be like you practicing
conflict of
law.
interest, right.
No, it's like you practicing law.
Oh, okay.
You're representing
something.
something else.
Okay.
Oh.
So that's one of
Yeah.
those hard rules where it's like, no, there's
Wow.
no way in
Yeah.
that situation you can do it. So having
Is that
business.
why? I'm sorry. Is that why my man on the 50 Cent show had to study to become a lawyer for life?
What lawyer?
I don't know. I
That
don't
is
know.
not real life.
I don't get the
Power?
reference.
No,
He talking about for life.
for life. That show. For life.
He
That
said
is
I don't
based-
get returned.
I haven't
that's
seen
based on
that
a true
show.
Talking
story.
about real life.
That is based on a true story, though. That TV series for life.
Because he
you
wanted to
asking?
represent his business.
No, he was representing himself for a murder charge.
Yeah.
Well, he went to law school and passed the bar in jail.
Yeah, he did it in jail. Then he started-
Yeah, that's crazy.
So he was really
But
became
you
a
know
lawyer.
what? He didn't do that for his case. He was doing that direct. I'm sorry, it threw me off. But he went to law school to represent other inmates.
Oh,
in jail.
right.
That's
Okay.
what
So
he
he
did.
did that while he was in prison. Like
Yeah.
he went to law
good for
school
him.
because he
Yeah.
wanted to be able to get out
Yeah.
and then come back and help
Oh,
other
that's a
people.
good
Oh,
show. You
that's
gotta
dope.
watch it.
Yeah,
You ain't
it's
watched
a good show.
What's it called?
For
For
life.
Life.
That's
No,
50
I'm gonna have
Cent
to check
show,
that
too.
out.
It's
No,
on
I've never
NBC.
seen it.
It's on Peacock.
And
Okay,
on
I'm gonna have
Hulu.
to check that out.
Hulu too.
It is a good show.
Yeah, 50 Cent doing his thing with the producing of the
Yeah,
shows
for
right now.
sure.
He got some good writers.
Raising Cane just came out too, so that was good too. The first episode.
You need to let me get a roll. What's
Oh,
up,
that's
50?
right.
Can I get a roll?
Go out there and try.
Right.
Put yourself out there.
Oh, where he at?
Is he in New York?
Speaking of where he at, right?
Well, I'm trying to give Dennis all his time. He's got to leave at 11 o'clock.
Yeah, you just think you running stuff today because it's your birthday. Like,
I know it's your birthday and everything.
Look like a Mack truck.
He
Like,
lived today.
I know it's your birthday.
He's alive.
hey, Leah on your neck. You ain't
Oh,
got
my neck.
Hey, you through like a Mack truck.
I can't
Like,
say nothing without you. Just think
Ain't
it's
no
your
light on
birthday
his
today.
neck today, so he can get extra heat, so it ain't burning the light.
I'm coming with that heat for you.
Fluorescent lights don't give up.
The fluorescent lights just flow through your body.
So, does anybody else have questions for Dennis?
Or us.
Or
Anyone.
us?
There we go.
There you go.
Come on up,
Come on
Lissa.
up.
All right.
There.
Here she comes.
She got to get it ready.
Notes and
She don't know which way to go. Okay.
Come on down.
Here we go.
TikTok.
Talking to the mic.
I have a question for
Leah.
What's your question?
who
Inspired.
Inspired
you?
Who inspired me? Well, when I was a little girl, I used to always see
Aw.
Oprah on TV.
You's a little girl?
She came out a grown woman.
When I was a little girl, my first TV inspiration came from Oprah. I saw her. She had a TV show. She did movies. She did everything. And so I always said, I want to be able to do that. I want to be able to do radio. I want to do TV. I want to have my own network. I want to be able to do all that. And as I grew up, she grew, and she now has her own network. So she was my first TV inspiration. Tyler Perry is another one. He was, yes. But outside of TV, my mom is a big inspiration to me because she was a single mother like I am, and she worked hard my whole life. I saw her do nothing but work hard and strive hard to take care of me and my sisters. So she inspired me to be strong and independent and to, just always go after my dreams.
Okay.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.
Bye.
Anybody else? Come on. You want to ask something? You look like you want to ask something.
So since he asked Leah that question, we can go around. Well, Dennis already answered that question too. So Shae.
Okay, so mine is kind of different. So Leah is like more on the news type of side. Mine was always the music. I was always 106 and Park, MTV TRL. I was always watching music stuff. Like I always wanted to host and be fun. I didn't never really want to do the serious role. I'm goofy, laughing.
Yeah,
so
you are
that
goofy.
Yeah, so that's definitely fit my character. And with the fashion, I like getting dressed. Like BET, MTV, and VH1 was my favorites. Reality shows, all that. So I'm a big personality, so that was definitely my inspiration to being the big personality. So that was mine. I like the more fun side.
Okay. You want me to go or you want to go first?
No.
I'll go first. My inspiration was Russell Simmons, Charlie Mack, and my dad. Russell Simmons because of all the involvement in music, doing all the blog site that he had, Global Grind. I don't know if anybody remembers Global Grind. That's where I started the 419 Grind as a blog site for Toledo. Charlie Mack because of radio. That's why I started doing radio because of Charlie Mack. And my dad was in music. He did a lot of stuff. So that's why I do a lot of stuff. So that's where all this came from.
Birthday boy?
Mr. Green?
Well, my main inspiration, first and foremost, is my children, because I just want them to see their father working and doing something positive and being a positive influence in the city that we're a part of. Secondly, just about any sitcom or just TV.
Yeah.
Just, I watched a lot of sitcoms, and
Cedric the Entertainer.
and comedians make you look at things different. So I look at a lot of things different. I ask different questions. They may be funny, but a lot of times it's just common sense that people should know. And we laugh at people for don't knowing, which is really not funny, because if you don't know, you need to know. But we put our own little twist on it. But then the city inspired me. We need a morning show.
Yeah.
For us. So,
And you guys got to remember that local angle, those local roots, it's super powerful, and they're really playing it well. It's key.
Everybody that watch our show every morning inspired me every morning to get up and come here and talk to you.
Yeah.
So thank you for watching.
Aww.
Okay.
All right. Well, speaking of being thankful, we're thankful for our sponsors. Hot Box. Mud City ENT. Land Soap, the People Salesman.
Yes, sir.
J. Rush Jennings.
Yep.
Greater New Psalmist Church.
Greater New Psalmist Church. Witness Riches. Sasha Denise.
Kendall.
Kendall Harvey. Legendary Carpet
Hey,
Care,
now.
Witness Riches. Did I say Witness Riches? And the Social Butterfly.
Hey, Miss Carter.
Yes. So, and if you would like to become a sponsor of the #1 voted podcast, send your info to Rise and Grind at the419grind.com, and you could become a sponsor of our show. So we're gonna
can
take
we have Tisha Lee come up after the break?
Yeah. We're going to take a quick break, and then we got our girl Tisha Lee coming. She has also been one of my inspirations. She gave me my first job in radio, and she's taught me everything I know when it comes to radio. So we got Miss Tisha Lee coming up.
She's the creator of this great program, right?
Yes. She created the aMAYSing Kids Broadcasting Camp. So keep it locked.
And thank you guys for coming, talking about inspirations. You guys are all inspirations to us for being here. You're the future, and
somebody gonna take over for us.
That's right.
Yes, we pray we inspire
Well, you guys are gonna take over next week, right?
Yeah.
It's gonna happen sooner than you think.
Keep it locked.
Yes.
Amen. 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 Hey, look, they see the favor and they wanna know the flavor. When I tell them that it's salty, they be looking at me crazy. If it ain't got no salt, then you really can't taste it. Gotta season with the season just to show them that you made it, huh? They gon' hate you when they see you doing cool, and they wanna see you fair, even if you ain't in school. Tell them keep it pushing, no exception to the rule. When you argue with a fool, one fool turn into two. Don't do it. Don't do No, don't do it, no, don't do it, man. Them boys be speaking deaf with that language, they're influent. Stay loaded with that scripture just in case you gotta shoot it. I be riding with the word, that spiritual carpooling. Lost it how I got it, so I switched up how I get it. Hit it, lick, and got licked. So I switched up my position. It's like a restaurant, how this boy here, he be tipping Jesus on the main line. Yeah, I got his extension. Yeah, I got his permission to flip it, mix it, and switch it to make sure they comprehend it. Receive it, don't get offended. Threes on me like Scottie Pippen. It's magic how they be tricking. The magic constant uplifter with power in every sentence. Yeah, I'm blessed, boy, a lot of big. Flu games in the spirit mean I'm ballin' sick. Yeah, your weight a little off. That's that counterfeit. Every situation got a scripture we can counter with. Win some, lose some. I ain't even think about it. Got more win than I got losses now that I think about it. Walk it how you talk it if you really be about it. Cause them trials and tribulations, they gon' come and see about it. Love me now, don't love me later. Got them asking where it come from every time they see the favor. Hey, love me now, don't love me later. Got them asking where it come from every time they see the favor. Yeah, I'm blessed, boy, a lot of big. Too many blessings, need another hand to count them with. If you talking about the truth, we can politic. Do it for the love, don't do it to get no compliments. We the soul of the earth, get on your condiments. He already numbered my steps, don't need a bit. So I'm walking in my purpose, on purpose. I ain't perfect, but I'm working, cause I know the serpent lurking. Talking about me crazy, the cheek, I gotta turn it and spit his word up like a baby that need burping. I'm trying to kill this flesh, closed casket, no service. All this fleshly living got me ashy, no jerkins. Yeah, I'm blessed, boy, a lot of big. Grace and mercy if you ask me what I'm working with. Gold streets for the pavement, that's a kingdom brick. This little light of mine shine cause I'm king. Win some, lose some, I ain't even think about it. Got more win than I got losses now that I think about it. Walk it how you talk it if you really be about it. Cause them trials and tribulations, they gon' come and see about it. Love me now, don't love me later. Got them asking where it come from every time they see the favor. Hey, love me now, don't love me later. Got them asking where it come from every time they see the favor. Yeah, I'm blessed, boy, a lot of big. MC Hammer with the faith, boy, I'm too legit. So much faith up in my house, you can bottle with. Be careful what you bite, don't choke trying to swallow it.
Show is on 419 The Grind.
Leah, are you looking at me?
No.
I was looking at the screen.
Welcome back. Cool. You are tuned into the #1 voted podcast, the Rise and Grind Morning Show with Leah, Renee, Shae, Kate, Clyde, Green, and Jay. And we have a special guest today. This is very personal for me because, you know, a minute ago, Alyssa asked me who's my inspiration, and I didn't say it at the time, but this has been one of my great inspirations because Tisha Lee, she's one of the greats, you know, and of course we've had her right here in Toledo in our hometown, and she gave me my first internship in radio, and I pretty much learned everything I know about radio from her and Tommy K.
No, seriously. And I've always heard her name. She is an OG, and this is my first time being physically
I'm not that old now.
Come on now. You're an OG of the game. That's not
okay, I'm not that old, but I appreciate it, and I love you, and I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Proud of both of you ladies. I'm so proud of the show. Jesse.
Oh. What up, though?
Doing your thing. I mean, come on. I mean, so yes, I'm very happy. I'm so excited to finally have an opportunity to be on the #1 podcast.
Yes. It's an honor. Yes. It's an honor to have Tisha Lee sitting here and for us to be in
our come on now you're doing too much.
Like whether you know it or not, like you are a radio legend in Toledo.
Literally, like
you may not feel like
I'm not that old. I'm not.
It don't have to be old. It's your body of work.
And what you put in the game.
It's your catalog. It's your catalog, ma'am.
How long you been in the game?
I'm not. That's gonna tell my age. Okay, so 18 years. 18 years.
That's what we said. You a vet. You a pro.
Yes,
you got
18
it now.
years.
Yes, that's amazing.
So, but right now, we are grooming these guys around us to take our jobs.
Yeah.
And they are doing a damn good job of it right now. I'm so proud of them.
Getting them started young.
Yeah, Leah.
Yes,
Leah, seriously,
man, they are like true stars.
What have you noticed these last couple of weeks about these kids?
I noticed was like you can see the growth from the beginning to when they were a little shy.
Right.
It's like a lot of the guests that we have come on this show. You know, when they first come in, they're a little shy. They don't really want to say too much. But then once you kind of break them open and crack them open, and you get them in those booths back there, their true personality really comes out. And I was going around to each one of the booths, and I was just wowed. Like, these kids, they got personality. They do. You know, they.
It's a book that talk about that.
Yeah, and they know some of them knew the equipment already. You know, it's it's very impressive.
And it just takes them a second to catch it if they don't know it.
Right. You know, the Bible say train up a child.
They're so creative. I mean, the creativity behind, so especially with some of the things like the DJ mixing. Now, it took some professionals to come up in here and do that, because I can't do that part. I left that to DJ J Rock. Okay, the
Shout out to
professionals.
DJ Rock. J-Rock.
So they are really starting to take to the media professionals that are coming in here. So like with yourself coming in here.
And then like B Wills.
Yes,
when B Wills was here, they really like took to him.
And you know what's good about that? They see different personalities.
Right, absolutely.
Everybody ain't in the suit and the tie.
And different forms of art as well.
Right.
You know, they've been able to see the different forms of art. It doesn't have to be just podcasting. It doesn't have to be just, DJing or TV,
You know, and the message is the same. So, for example, Alexis Means was here. She brought her. You were here that day.
Yes, that was.
She brought her Emmy, and she pulled her Emmy out of the box for the first time.
Wow.
For the first time.
Wow.
Yes,
that's amazing.
It was her first time seeing it.
Yes,
with
that
us.
was a very special moment that she shared with us.
Yeah, I got it all on
to
video.
Share with it. That was nice, Catherine, wasn't it? When
that was
showed her.
great.
Yeah, when she just opened that box, just got it. So, that was a very special moment. And then we love to have our men in media too. Okay, so like B Wills, we had Steven Jackson, that was here from WTO.
And like you said, DJ J Rock.
Yep, DJ J Rock, and you guys, you fellas. They don't know. They just
now that they came together. How do you feel?
You know what? I had very high expectations of this camp. I did. I had my.
How long was this vision in your heart?
Probably about 5-6 years.
I figured. A lot of people always say that.
Yeah, the expectation was really high, and it exceeded even what my expectations.
It always is.
Because it's effective. Like we already know it's effective. But
you know why? Because growing up, we didn't have anything like this.
Absolutely.
We wanted to do something.
Right, that's right.
In audio, video, whatever, but we never had the opportunity to learn from other older people, because when we were at church or wherever we went,
we were running the sound.
Stay in the kids'
right. But then we got to be teenagers, and then it became
get over here.
No, it became our position.
Right.
I'm coming to church. I'm working the sound system. Then I got on the audio video.
Yep. We went back and forth with that. He did audio. I did a video. Or we went
then
back.
We
and
started
forth.
working together. Then we
So that's where you guys first originally learned how to do all that. Oh wow, that's really dope.
Yeah, in church.
And then we go down on the church Saturdays clean, and then we put music through the PA. Oh man, we can start doing this and this and then he started the 409 grind.
Wow. And that's the thing about music. I mean, it heals.
Therapy to the soul.
It is. It's therapy to the soul. So, this all has to do with music and entertainment.
Right.
Just being who you want to be. And so a lot of our kids that have come in here, they are starting to find out who they are, or they're interested in finding out who they are. It's really interesting. It's fascinating to watch the growth. Just the communication skills alone.
Right.
So the first day, you don't know anybody. I mean, you go in, you don't want to talk, you're scared. You just like, I don't know. But then the next day you come in, you starting to get a little bit more comfortable. Then the next day, now you're meeting friends. And then by the end of the camp, you made new friends and you want to be the next weatherman.
Right.
But that's what's happening here. So it's like they're engaging, they're reading, and they're building those communication skills. And that's what we wanted, right? That's what we wanted.
Right.
So what do you see the end goal to the program, or what's the process from going from here to the next step?
Yeah,
It'll be annual.
Yes, it's definitely going to be an annual. It is
That's
an annual
beautiful.
program,
That's
absolutely.
beautiful.
And it will also be an after school program as well.
Beautiful.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so we're going to
That's
try to get it
amazing.
into some of the schools. So the goal, the vision, is to keep our young people, our young broadcasters right here in our city.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Okay, with all of our media outlets we have, from print, radio, television. It's all here. It's right here.
It's right here.
Minority owned, woman owned.
Right,
you know,
right.
we have the big conglomerates. I mean, you know, the sky is the limit here. I mean, it's proven here in this city that you can build your own radio station from the ground up. That's Charlie Chuck, right? And that's Linda Pera. She has a station, the first Spanish station in the area. So those things can happen right here. We want to keep our kids here. So the goal is to start these kids at 4th grade, interest them, inspire them, mentor them, right? By the time they get to 8th grade, we got a little something coming up. Okay, we won't unleash that just yet, right? But because we have some great partners that we're going to be working with to make that happen. And then we want them to go into career tech in high school, right? And then straight to college,
internships,
and now you get hired.
Yeah,
I can't wait. I can't wait to get my daughters.
Ain't that something? It is just really exciting.
It's like a whole.
It's a pipeline.
Yeah,
it's a pipeline program. That's
just
exactly
like when
what we're doing.
they do Pee Wee football.
Exactly.
You go from Pee Wee football, you go to the 1st grade and high school and junior high, high school, and then you go to college. It's all set up for them to stay in those sports.
Right.
Yep. So
absolutely.
To have something like this, the people who don't do sports, I don't want to play basketball. I don't want to play football.
Yes. Right.
To have the opportunity to learn the arts without having to go to certain schools.
Right.
And just to even put this out there, I mean, our partner that we're going to be working with is going to do some sound engineering and some graphic design, just going into the photography, because those are also forms of multimedia.
That's right.
So we don't touch, we don't touch on that, even though the library has a camera for every child in here.
Wow.
Yes. So they'll be able by the time.
Excuse me, you know what else? Even doing it here in the library, you teaching the kids how to use resources.
Oh yeah.
I mean, a lot of times they say they don't know where to go or how.
The one day, I think it was like one of the first couple days, she took all the kids up, and for the kids who didn't have library cards, they walked them through the process of getting a library card.
Thing to have a library
teaching
card.
them teaching them how to log in on the computer. I mean, those simple basic steps are important to know, and not all kids know.
Right. Yep. Just having that library card, because there's something about just having that card. They were so excited. I was excited having my. It was like a credit card to me.
Right.
As a kid,
and you go to any library with it. You
Right, you be excited about that. Like, I can scan my barcode.
Yeah. So, I mean, being able to do that, for example, so that's the first thing we do is make sure you have a library card. Okay. And we're teaching you that the library is just not a place to get books. It's a resource for whatever you need. This is the place you go for resources. And the first project that they did was an audio book. Leah, were you here for the audio book?
I don't think I was here for that one.
So that was like the second day of camp. So they were to pick 2 books for themselves and then 1 book for a younger child. Okay. So for example, 4th grade, you're going to pick a 1st grade or 2nd grade book, right? So they did an audio book for a younger child. Now, to me, this was my thought process behind that. So for that age, you reading a little bit younger, you're more confident, right? So that reading level, that's where you can kind of teach the expression and the fluency, right? And just the proficiency and all the reading components, right? Yeah. And then get them to smile and use those expressions. Because at that point, you could read this if it's something small, smaller words, and it just a few words on each page, and the kids, they're comfortable reading it. They got that confidence, so they're gonna put all so we use that as the teaching moment to start them, you know, with the communication. Baby steps. It is. It's a confidence booster.
For sure.
Yeah,
I can read that.
And if you don't have confidence, you ain't really you can't do much.
You walk out the door.
Yeah, you know, one thing that I really found interesting, because you know, even my son, he has some trouble with reading, and when he was in there in the TV booth, they, you know, she actually has a teleprompter in there for them to read off of, and you know, the mobile green screen. He was in there. He got a little embarrassed because he couldn't, you know, read from the teleprompter, but that just kind of struck something in him, and it made him want to be able to like learn how to read. You know what I mean? So it's like, even for kids who aren't necessarily very proficient in reading, that's like ways to kind of show them a fun way.
Absolutely,
you know,
that's the whole purpose of that teleprompter. And really, when they read off of the teleprompter, it's what they're writing. So that was a little bit different, because we actually wrote a script for them. You know, which was a little bit more difficult. You're unfamiliar with it, and that is the first, you know, you're seeing this for the first time. So they did very good for that. But we have them write their own scripts, then they read their own. You know, so we try to start with as small as possible, and then, you know, work our way up. But they love the teleprompter. You like that teleprompter, don't you, Catherine? She's one. You like the teleprompter, talking in it, looking into it? Yeah, so it's got the camera behind it.
Yeah. It was.
I want to check that out myself.
Yeah, you guys can come on.
I was like, I need to order one of these, like, because even something like that may help Brandon. You know, if I had something like that at home, and I just start with, you know, short words and like let him read off of that. That's fun ways to do fun ways.
But just thinking about my baby Brandon. Just even being at this camp and him communicating and talking with other kids, you found something that he really liked. Like he in coding is that's a big thing now. These kids are really gravitating toward coding, and that's what that's something he wants to do.
That was with the DJing thing.
That's what the video game stuff. And
I didn't see him when he was doing that part, but I seen him when
he hasn't done it. They were talking. Remember, they were talking with
with your son. He sat down with her son, because her son is big into coding and gaming and stuff. They were, and they had a conversation about it, and just seeing how interested he was in talking to him. And her son is so well spoken and so smart. Like, I mean, I was like, how old are you? Like,
he thinks he's grown too.
I mean, he does. He's what, like 12 or 13?
He's 13.
Yeah.
13.
I mean, like, the conversation, you'd have thought he was like 16 or 17. Like, he was
he
talking,
think he grown.
and I was just like, oh my goodness. He's not here.
He's
today,
not here. He's asleep. He played the video game all night. All night.
And he was like teaching Brandon about coding and like what goes into gaming and how you can turn it in and turn it into a business and monopolize off of it, or a profession.
And he's one of those kids. He don't like to get in on it. Him keeping his attention is hard. You know, like it has to be fun. It has to be innovative. And when you're talking about something that you like, you know, look how easy it is, you know, and how excited he was. You know, so, you know, when you guys come around after you're done, I mean, you'll just see the joy that they have just by doing something that they're finding out that they like. You know? It's been the experience just within itself. I mean, just within the first 2 days, if I didn't do it any other days after that, those first 2 days were confirmation that I'm just, you know, God led me to where, you know, I'm being quiet, I'm listening. What he's telling me to do.
Being obedient,
That's right. I'm just listening and I'm following.
So Marissa Raymond of the Raymonds, was keeping it real with the Raymonds?
Yeah. Shout out to our girl.
Hey, girl. She said that y'all go way back. And then I want to give you opportunity if you want to give a shout out to any of your support staff or any.
Oh my goodness!
Through,
yes.
Give thanks and everything.
I have to give Braxton. That is, yes, she is a supporter. Yes, she's around. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Whatever. Whatever, Clyde. Yeah.
Look at her. Yep. So she's around. You know, she's our broadcast baby. You know, she's a broadcast baby. But Miss Jess is here. Miss Roz is here. Mr. Deshaun is here. My niece Amira is here. We even have a couple new volunteers, Autumn and Miss Haley. So, and then of course, Leah has really, I mean, she hit, we talked, I called her, I said, Leah, I need you on this. Like, I need you, and she didn't hesitate because we have the same type of vision when it comes to stuff like this. We love the kids. It's about them.
Yeah.
Right.
So I know where she is with that. So if I didn't have that crew, this wouldn't have been able to, I wouldn't have been able to pull this off. We wouldn't have been able to pull it off.
Beautiful.
We wouldn't have been able to. Because they're here every day from the time 9:30 to 4:30. No, 9:30 to 5:30.
And some of your volunteers
every
are
day.
teenagers as well, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
So,
Autumn and what's the other one's name?
Haley is
and
volunteering.
Autumn.
Yep, and my niece Amira, she's volunteering as well. But
so those are kids wanting to help kids. That's
absolutely.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So of course, this would not be able to happen if it wasn't for them. The juice. I mean, the station, my family.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, they are my number one supporters when it comes to this. So and they are a major partner. And of course, the Mott Branch Library. I mean, this is something that they wanted to do because they have a state-of-the-art recording studio here. Right. And, we want to get some folks in here to use that. It's a resource.
Right. In our neighborhood, in our central city.
Yes, it
right
has.
in the hood.
And I just found out the other day when I was here that they completely renovated the downtown one too. And they have all of this in the downtown one as well. I didn't know that.
Every library,
I did not know that.
Right.
They pretty much got all the resources that you need.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. So we got to take advantage of the stuff that the city is providing for us. We say ain't nothing to do. And this is stuff we spend our tax dollars on.
Right.
That's right.
That's right.
Utilize
it.
Money
You might as well utilize it.
I mean, if you're a YouTuber, a podcaster, or any sort of thing, and you really just want to do it on your own, I mean, they have everything you need right here in this library.
And with your library card, you can come do a podcast.
Absolutely. And and another thing real quick is the media that oh my goodness,
they've given major support.
They have been major support in this, every media outlet.
And our media outlets
such a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing because that's who they see on TV. That's who they hear on the radio.
Absolutely.
That's So for them to be part, and they see them live in person. Like I just think I wish I could have seen Ramona Robinson in Cleveland in person.
Right.
That would have been my dream. Never got to meet her, but you get to see Alexis. You get to see Leah. You get to see Steven Jackson and J. Rock. You get to see these guys right here.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
So is it?
And of course, I got to shout out my husband because that's my supporter. Yes.
Where the name came from.
That's right. aMAYSing Kids. Yeah.
Shout out to Dash.
Wow.
Duh.
Yeah, good party.
Speaking of aMAYSing, before, because Shae has to go, so we're going to let Shae do her affirmation now.
Yes, this is my favorite part of the day.
Well, I just wanted her to let people know where they can find her.
Well, we'll go back to that.
Okay.
Because,
go ahead. No, she can go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay.
Oh, you want me to
You got a few minutes?
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
You sure?
Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So go to aMAYSingKids.org. Go to our website. You can sign up for the email list, and then of course our Facebook page. Make sure, and also we're going to start doing a live. Actually, here in about 10-15 minutes or so, Tiffany Tarpley from WTOL will be here. So she'll be here talking to the kids, and then later on this afternoon, Miss Candace Harrison will be here. So we got a nice day lined up too. So I got to get ready to get up out of here too, because they in there waiting. They're waiting on their snack. And when it's time to eat, it's time to eat.
Right. They can sign up for the next.
Absolutely. Well, they'll be able to get on the list. Yes.
I'm sorry.
All right. Okay. But thank you so much for allowing me. Well, thank you for coming to the camp.
Yeah.
Thank you for having us.
Coming to us.
Thank you for inviting us.
Because that is that's the thing about having the mobile camp, because this camp is portable.
Yeah.
That we got to go to where the kids are.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you guys.
And we appreciate you.
Thank you.
I love you guys.
This is my favorite part of the day. I just want to end it with some positivity, and I hope you receive it as well. You are accepting yourself and learning to give thanks for all your imperfections. You find comfort in knowing that one day you will come face to face with all your dreams, knowing that everything in your life happened exactly how it was meant to be. You are on time. You are in the right place. You are showing up each and every day to get a better mental, physical, spiritual progress. Remember, your life is powerful, and this is it.
Yes, I receive it.
Nothing to drop the mic.
Yes, my first time meeting you in person, so I was
it.
able to give you something positive, and I'm glad that you loved it and you received it.
Thank you.
Yes.
I love it. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank
Wow.
you,
Beautiful.
Tish. We appreciate you.
I'm saying the first time was when me and you met.
Yes.
I ain't no positive.
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
Of course not.
Because she don't love you. No, it's time to go. Okay, let me go.
Shout out to our sponsors. How about
This show is getting ready to take a turn. It's time to go.
That's the best part.
Right. Glad Self, the People Salesman.
Yes, sir.
J. Rush Jennings. Sasha Denise. Legendary Carpet Care.
Hey, now.
Witness Riches.
Yes.
Greater New Psalmist Church.
Amen.
The Social Butterfly.
Hey, Miss
and
Carter.
Kendall Harvey.
Yes.
And if you would like to become a sponsor of the #1 voted podcast, send your info to Rise and Grind at the419grind.com, and you can become a sponsor of our show.
Hey.
We hope you guys enjoyed it today. Make sure you tune in tomorrow and next Wednesday for the aMAYSing Kids Takeover.
Yes.
They are going to be taking over this table, y'all. So make sure you tune in. It's going to be great. But tomorrow we have another great show, and on Friday we got J. Rush Jennings and Life Jennings in the studio.
Nice.
So make sure you guys keep it locked to everything that the 419 Grind has going on, because you know we keep it coming. So like me and Shae always say, until next time. Mwah.
Oh,
Hey.
All right.